Hey there, it's Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique, and no, this is not a crafting video, but do you have a lot of crafts that you want to sell? Do you not know where to start or where to even begin? Well, I'm going to interview my business coach, Jennifer Allwood, and I would challenge you just to listen and hear what we have to say, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's learn how to turn your hobby into your dream job, like I did. I want to introduce, this is my business coach, Jennifer Allwood. She's been my business coach for over 4 years now. And
Amazing.
it seems like just yesterday, but I have done every single program you have, and currently in your mastermind for
Yes, I
entrepreneurs.
love.
And it's been amazing. It's my second go around with you on that one. But we're here today because we want to talk about how we can help women who were like us years ago, wanting to figure out, okay, how do I bring in more income? How do I help my family? I was at home with little kids and wanted to still stay at home. And I know you have a
I
kind
do
of
the same thing.
so
Yeah.
tell us a little bit how you got started.
Yeah. So, right now, and hi, and thank you, Julie, for having me. I appreciate you so much. And I'm honored
Oh,
to
thank you for coming.
share my audience or your audience with me with your audience. Yeah. Me with your audience. There we go. So I have been making money in the online space now as a business coach for about 8 years. It's not at all where I started, not at all what I thought I would be doing. I'm sorry. We've got family right behind me here in the video. Hello, family.
It's okay. It's real life. Real life
It
happens.
is
I
real
have,
life. We really
and
do
on
have
my,
all the kids here.
yeah, in my YouTube videos, because I'm in my basement right now, that's where I film and everything. I
Yes.
call them my elephants. And so
Okay.
all my viewers know what my elephants are. So we've got
Yes, I
elephants.
should I should have warned the family, but real life is that we both do work from home, and it is
Yep.
lovely and also very real.
Yep.
So I did not think that I was going to be a business coach. I have over 2,000 clients every month between my mastermind, my Better Way program, and my inner circle coaching. That we are teaching women how to build their social media and then how to make money on their social media, so that women can have more freedom in their time and their finances. And my background is actually that I have a degree in computers, which I hated, only got that degree years and years ago because I wanted to make a lot of money, forgetting that, oh yeah, I hate computers. So there's that. But you know what? A lot of your audience, they probably have degrees and stuff. They're not actually, making money in either.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that we ask 18-year-olds to decide for the rest of life, what you want to do. But when I was about 30 years old, I decided that I was going to start a decorative painting company. So essentially, I met a couple at a home and garden show in Kansas City, and they were lovely, and they had a painting school. And I went to this painting school, and I was like, oh my gosh, people actually can make money off of painting. Probably like how you felt the first time you made a wreath or something. You're
Yeah.
like, this is so much fun. How am I getting paid for this? So I worked a computer job by day, and I had the wreath. You have the wreath making. I had the painting at night, and I did a little bit on the weekends and things with my husband. He helped me, and eventually I got laid off from my computer job. So then I was like, okay, what do I do to make some cash until I get the next computer job that I'm also going to hate? Because I was raised in a time period where, number one, I didn't have a lot of entrepreneurs that I knew. In fact, I knew zero. My family had raised me just really traditionally. You go to college, you get a degree, you get a job where you work 9 to 5. If you hate it or love it, really doesn't matter. You hope for your 2 weeks of PDOs and 401k match, and you just retire eventually and die. And that's like kind of the trajectory I was on. So it didn't even occur to me like I could do this painting thing for a full-time income, and not have to go back to another 9 to 5. But that's exactly what I ended up doing. I started doing the painting full time, and now we've got a dog that wants attention. Julie, this could just be a hot mess. You have
Well,
no
you
idea.
started off that way,
This,
so might
this
as well
is
continue.
Lola, and she's kind of needy when it comes to attention. So I started the painting company. Then we got pregnant with our oldest son, Noah, very quickly. And I was like, wait a second. Now I don't want to be out working in people's houses. I want to stay home with them full time. Now what do I do? So I kind of pivoted again, and I had other women come work for me and paint for me. And then Facebook and Instagram all started about 12, 13 years ago. And that's when everything changed, because it was at a time, Julie, when a lot of people were not using the internet for business yet. They were just using it to look at your cats and your kids, and that was great too, except we didn't have cats. But then people were starting to use it for business, so I started using it for business. And then my social media started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then people were asking me, how are you growing your social media? And I was like, well, what I'm doing is I'm doing da 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 da. And then one day I was like, okay, I see other people starting to teach people how to grow things on social media. Like, why am I not teaching people and somehow making money off of what I've learned over the last couple of years? So I started a paid group called the Inner Circle, which I know you've been a part of for a long, long time, teaching women how to get people on your email list, how to get more followers on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and TikTok. And so we've had that group now for 5.5 years. It is fabulous and marvelous. And so I ended up teaching people how to do that. I ended up making DIY videos, teaching people how they could paint in their own house. And then eventually I closed down the painting company in 2017 because I had went from making all of our money painting to then making, money online to eventually just shutting this down. And then my business actually exploded. So it's been a really great transition. It's so much easier to make money in the online space than it was, having a painting client, painting for her, having to find another painting client, painting for her. And I know you have the same thing in your industry. You make a wreath, you sell it. You got to make another one, you got to
Right.
sell it. And
And
there's only so many hours in a day.
Right. And for me, it kind of transformed from making reads for everybody else to teaching people how to do it on YouTube.
Exactly.
And basically finding an income on social media, which is amazing to me. Because if you would have told me 6 years ago, you're going to be making a full-time income using social media, I would have said, you are crazy.
Yeah.
There's
But
no
that's
way.
how a lot of great success stories start out, that you have a gift that God's given you and you're using it to God's glory. And then it just kind of gets pivoted and shifted a little bit, and you change a little bit and add some more to it. And then all of a sudden you end up with this business. You're like, I could have never seen this coming. And I've seen it happen time and time again with our clients. And I love it so much. There's so much money in the online space to be made. Most people just don't realize really how they can take the talents that they have and the things they already know how to do and just make money off of them.
Right.
And, or they feel weird about making money. So, as somebody in my programs, I talk about that a lot, about money mindset issues. When you start making a little bit of money, if you feel guilty about it, that's a red flag. If you make money and feel like you've got to give it all away, like that's a red flag too. If you can't seem to go online and try to sell anything because you feel weird, you feel salesy, I try to address a lot of that also, because you can be super good at what you do. You can be super talented at what you do. But if you feel really bad about charging for what you know, or if you feel really bad about asking for a sale, or you don't know how to do that in a way that doesn't make you feel yucky, then we've got to address that as well.
Right. And I remember going through that in the first few years, figuring out, okay, we all have not that our product has a worth, but our time is worth something, our product is worth something, and not being ashamed to say, this is what my price is.
This is what my price is.
And it's okay if so-and-so across the street doesn't want to pay that price. She's not my target customer.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a whole world that the social media has done to say, okay, you don't have to sell to your neighborhood. You can sell to the world, basically.
Which is amazing. There's never been a better time to be in business than
right now. So tell me what you think right now, are the biggest hurdles for women who either are entrepreneurs, want to be entrepreneurs. What are the biggest problems, fears, whatever it is that keeps them from doing that?
Yeah. So I think a lot of times people just don't know how to start. They're not sure, well, what do I do to start? And really, honestly, in the year 2022, people can figure out how to start. You can watch somebody like Julie and be like, okay, Julie has a YouTube, Julie has a Facebook, Julie has Instagram. Maybe I should start a YouTube. You can model after people. So it's usually when they say they don't know how to start, it's just that they're scared to start. So the biggest issues I see is fear of what if I mess up, fear of what if I, get into one of Julie's classes or Jennifer's courses and it doesn't work for me and I've lost money, as if, there's no guarantees on things, right? Because it matters how much effort you put into things. But I see that as a huge issue. I see there being a huge issue with, okay, I know how to start the things. I know that I have a gift and a talent at this thing, but I don't know how to make money off of it. And that's where I come in, because I teach on 8 different ways you can make money off of the talent and the gifts that God has given you. So 8 ways of making money in the online space.
So tell me what's happening on Monday. It's the revenue ramp up.
It is the revenue ramp up. So it's for the people who are struggling just to make more money with their business, because the number one reason a business closes down is because you're not generating enough income. And so, I've always said, and this, Julie, that if you'll treat your business like a business and not treat it like a hobby, it will actually pay you like a business.
Yep.
But there's people that have a real gift and a talent. They're stuck in hobby mode and hobby pay because they just haven't figured out, like, what am I missing? What numbers am I not focusing on? What money mindset things do I need to change? What are some things that I can do to actually start making a little bit more money like today? And being someone that's been in my groups, you know that I feel a real sense of urgency around the idea of helping women get results quickly, and helping them to fulfill, like, whatever call of God is on their life on this side of heaven. And I think we're so weird about making money, but if you've got a talent and you've got an idea for a business or a business that you've started and you just cannot figure out how to make more money off of it, I would love for you to join us next week in my workshop. It's 5 days long. So we're going Monday through Friday. It's 10 a.m. CST, I believe, every day. Yes, that is right. Yes. I had to stop and think about it a second.
That's your favorite time. That's your favorite time.
It is. You want to know why? Because people are either they're either roosters or they're owls. Do you know which one you are? I'm a rooster, which means I'm an early morning person.
I don't think I'm either.
When does your brain work the best?
Around 11 a.m.
Yeah, there you go.
3.
So that's why I'm 10 a.m. because I'm not good before about 9. But after lunch, I'm like, wah, wah, wah. And the further we get into the day, and I know we've got a prayer session tonight at 7. I'm always like, okay, I can do it. It's 7 o'clock at night. I'll have on my jammy pants. Don't tell the others. But so yeah, that's why we do it at 10 a.m. CST. If you can't be there live, it's all recorded and it's $10. And the reason it's not free, and let me just say this, is because a lot of people will see other people doing workshops and challenges for free. And we have tested this and we have told all of our clients this: when you do things for free, you're not going to draw in the right people, number one. And number two, when people pay, they'll pay attention. So even just $10, which is the cost of a large or venti or grande or whatever size that is at Starbucks. I don't Starbucks coffee, but it's the same price. But this could be something that gives you the one thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about the fact that I could make money doing that. Or I didn't even realize that this is one of the reasons why I'm maybe not making enough money. So, so I would love for your people to join us. And I think you've got a link below somewhere. And
I do. There's a link like above our heads here. So you guys can click on that link. I think in today's, we woke up today and our world has changed. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Our world is not like circa 2020. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's coming back, we don't know, to be quite honest. And the thing that I do know, that if you can sell something online versus opening a brick and mortar and having a store, that's so much less overhead. And it's
less stress.
Less scary. Yes, it's less scary. There's so many platforms out there that you can use. And I'm just going to like put it out there. If you guys have been thinking about starting a business, I know that I get messages every single week. How do I sell my wreaths? What should I charge for my wreaths? Where do I start? What do you need to do? So I would really encourage you to join the Revenue Ramp Up, because it's going to be good. I promise you that you're going to walk away every single day with something like, oh my goodness, I never thought of that. Yes. I need to do that. I need to implement that, because there are so many things that we don't think about that we can get overwhelmed with in our life, that if we could just go sit and give an hour a day, probably less than that, really, to your program. I'm just telling you, I've been with this lady for 4 years. I have invested in her and she has invested in me, and I wouldn't be here. She wouldn't be on my page right now if I didn't believe in her and if I didn't really see the results. Because I can tell you, 4 years ago, I was up against a brick wall, because I was that person who studied everybody, looked, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. And then I got to a point where, like, okay, what do I do next? And
I can only do so much on your own.
Exactly. And that's where you came in. And I really feel like it was a God thing. And I really know that God directed me to you, and I've not regretted it once.
Well, Julie, you also understand, I just want to honor you for a second. You also understand the idea of proximity, and proximity matters, and who you are close to and who you are following closely and learning from. It really matters. And sometimes I think it's important that when you see somebody that has built a business or built a life, that you look at not with jealousy, but with like, oh my gosh, I so want to do that, because you have built yourself an empire, honestly.
Oh,
And
thank
you
you.
are doing amazing, and you've got such great things you're doing and will be continuing to do. So when you see somebody doing something like that, you see somebody that's making the kind of money that you want, or that is in a position that you want, it's not out of jealousy, but get close to them somehow, figure
Yeah.
out what they're doing, get into their programs, because you catch some of that, that wave, you catch some of that momentum just by being in close proximity to that person. And so you've
Absolutely.
invested heavily in training. I have invested very heavily in training in the last couple of years of sitting underneath, people who are further ahead than me. And so, so I just applaud you for understanding that concept, and just for your loyalty and your faithfulness. And again, thank you for just trusting me with your people here. I would absolutely love to have them in the program next week.
Well, I hope that they will take you up on this. And I'm going to just kind of put it out there. If any of my followers are watching here and you decide to get on the revenue ramp up, number one, I want you to put it in the comments and tell me that you
Yes,
joined.
I would love that. I want to go
Yes.
say hi too. Yes.
And then I'm going to put this challenge out, because this is how confident I am. Okay. If you join the revenue ramp up, and by Friday, you say, okay, this wasn't worth it. This wasn't worth the $10. You can message me back and I will give you that $10. So, but see, I don't think anybody's going to do that, because they're going to learn a lot. They're going to learn a lot. So message me or comment in this comment here, because Jennifer will say hi.
I will.
But I promise you, if you watch every single day, I'm promising you, you will walk away with new information that you need for your business to move on. Because sometimes even I hit a brick wall 4 years ago, and I found you. And I really feel like sometimes we need help, that extra push, that extra, like, okay, you can do this in the right direction. So anyways, but listen, everybody, she has a podcast called The Jennifer Allwood Show. So you should make sure you subscribe and listen to her every week. She's got a book behind her called Fear Is Not the Boss of Me, or Boss of You.
Yes. And there may be a sequel coming out for that this spring.
Nice.
I know.
I love that book. I cried. It just spoke to my heart. So I definitely recommend that book. So again, get in on the revenue ramp up. Starts this Monday, February 28th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. CST.
No, CST. I always say Eastern time.
That's okay.
Anyways,
10 a.m.
all right.
CST. So I cannot wait to see you guys there. And thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing it all with us. So we will see you all later. And thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye.